The tension is real and the streets are watching closely. Jay Prince Jr. isn't holding back. And Charleston White just got a message he won't forget. What started as a few disrespectful comments about Jay Prince Sr. has now escalated into a full-blown showdown, and fans everywhere are asking the same question. How far will this beef go? Jay Prince Jr. has made it clear that respect isn't optional, especially when it comes to defending his family's name. Charleston White's words crossed a line, and the young prince isn't letting it slide. The warning he delivered isn't just for show, it's a statement to the streets, to the industry, and to anyone thinking that family can be disrespected. Without consequences, social media erupted instantly as fans replayed every clip, dissected every comment, and debated what the next move would be. Some are siding with Jay Prince Jr., praising his loyalty and courage, while others are speculating how Charleston White will respond. Every post, every story, and every comment now carries weight in this ongoing drama. This isn't just a personal dispute, it's a lesson in power, respect, and reputation. In the world of hip-hop, one wrong word can ignite chaos, and Jay Prince Jr. is showing that loyalty runs deeper than the music. The streets are tuned in, and the fans are waiting for every move, every reaction, and every statement. The big question is, will Charleston White respond or step back? And how far is Jay Prince Jr. willing to go to defend his father's legacy? The big question lingers in the streets and across social media. Will Charleston White respond or step back? And how far is Jay Prince Jr. willing to go to defend his father's legacy? To understand why this conflict has captured so much attention, we need to examine the players, their history, and the cultural weight behind every word spoken. Jay Prince Jr., son of the legendary music executive Jay Prince Sr., has grown up in an environment where respect, loyalty, and reputation are everything. For him, defending his father's name isn't just personal. It's a duty, a responsibility, and a matter of honor. Charleston White, on the other hand, has made a name for himself by being outspoken, controversial, and never shy about calling people out publicly. His comments about Jay Prince Sr. were perceived as crossing a line, and in the world of hip-hop, some lines simply cannot be ignored. The warning Jay Prince Jr. delivered is more than just words, it's a statement of intent. By addressing Charleston White publicly, he's showing the streets and the industry that he takes family loyalty seriously, that disrespect has consequences, and that he's willing to step into the spotlight to enforce those standards. The message resonates deeply with fans, many of whom respect the Prince family's legacy and understand that in hip-hop, silence in the face of disrespect is often interpreted as weakness. As soon as the warning dropped, social media erupted. Fans replayed every clip, dissected every caption, and debated what the next move might be. Supporters of Jay Prince Jr. praised his courage and his loyalty to his father, applauding him for standing up against Charleston White's disrespectful remarks. Meanwhile, fans of Charleston White speculated about whether he would respond publicly, engage through social media, or let the situation fade quietly. Every post, every story, and every interaction became part of a larger narrative, amplifying the tension and keeping audiences on edge. But this isn't just a story about two individuals. It's about power, influence, and the unspoken rules of respect within hip-hop culture. The Prince family carries a legacy that is both respected and feared. Jay Prince Sr. is known for his influence, his ability to navigate conflicts, and his dedication to loyalty and street code. By stepping into this confrontation, Jay Prince Jr. isn't just defending his father. He's upholding a standard that the streets recognize and respect. The warning isn't empty. It carries real weight. And Charleston White, whether he acknowledges it publicly or not, understands the implications. Fans quickly began analyzing the subtle dynamics at play. Jay Prince Jr.'s composure and measured delivery suggested that he's strategic, aware of the stakes, and prepared for any response. He isn't acting impulsively, sending a calculated message that balances firmness with respect. Other side, Charleston White is faced with multiple options. Respond immediately and risk escalating the conflict. Respond indirectly to maintain his image, or remain silent and let the pressure build. Each choice carries consequences, not just for him personally, but for his reputation and standing within the culture. The involvement of social media cannot be overstated. Every Instagram story, tweet, and comment thread has become a battleground where fans, analysts, and insiders weigh in. Memes, reaction videos, and debates dominate the platforms, amplifying the drama and putting even more pressure on Charleston White. The audience has become a participant in the conflict, shaping perception and driving the narrative in real time. In this environment, perception often matters as much as reality, and every move is scrutinized under a magnifying glass. What makes this situation even more intense is the legacy factor. The Prince family has built decades of influence, respect, and authority in hip-hop. Their name carries weight, and any perceived disrespect can't go unanswered without sending a message that might undermine their position. J. Prince Jr. understands this implicitly. By clapping back publicly, he's not only defending his father, he's reinforcing the family's authority and reminding the streets of their influence. Charleston White's role adds another layer of complexity. Known for his outspoken nature and willingness to challenge prominent figures, he has cultivated a following that respects his boldness. However, in confronting a member of the Prince family, he's entered territory where consequences are unavoidable. The tension between maintaining his image as fearless while avoiding overstepping boundaries creates a high-stakes situation that fans and the streets are watching unfold with bated breath. As the drama develops, speculation continues about potential next steps. Will Charleston White respond with a public statement, release a video addressing the issue, or stay silent and let the weight of J. Prince Jr.'s warning linger? For J. Prince Jr., the goal is clear. Ensure respect is upheld without escalating unnecessarily, demonstrating strength while remaining strategic. This careful balance between authority and strategy is what separates serious players from those who merely talk online. Fans also recognize the broader implications of this feud. The story isn't just about individual pride, it's about cultural standards and the unspoken rules of respect. In hip-hop, family legacy, street credibility, and public perception are deeply intertwined. Every action taken by J. Prince Jr. and Charleston White will be interpreted not only as personal behavior, but as a reflection of their influence, decision-making, and respect for cultural norms. As days pass, the tension continues to mount. Clips of interviews, reactions from fans, and social media posts contribute to an ever-growing narrative that refuses to fade. The streets are divided, the fans are engaged, and analysts weigh in on every possible outcome. This feud has transcended a simple disagreement, becoming a case study in loyalty, influence, and the balance of power in modern hip-hop. Ultimately, what makes this situation compelling is the human element. Pride, loyalty, and family honor collide with public perception and social influence. J. Prince Jr.'s calculated warning demonstrates a willingness to defend his family's legacy while navigating the complexities of modern social dynamics. Charleston White, on the other hand, must decide whether to respond, strategize, or retreat, a decision that could define his reputation for years to come. The streets are watching. Fans are analyzing. Social media is buzzing. And history is taking notes. One thing is clear. This feud is far from over, and the next move will have major consequences for everyone involved. The streets are watching. Fans are analyzing. Social media is buzzing, and history is taking notes. J. Prince Jr.'s warning to Charleston White sent a clear message. But the question remains, how will Charleston White respond, and will he escalate this conflict or step back? This next chapter of the feud is as much about strategy, reputation, and perception as it is about personal pride. Charleston White, known for his fearless and outspoken persona, now faces a dilemma that could define his public image for years. On one hand, responding aggressively could solidify his reputation as someone who doesn't back down. But it risks escalating the feud with the Prince family and drawing him into a conflict far larger than anticipated. On the other hand, staying silent could be interpreted as weakness, giving J. Prince Jr. a symbolic victory and reinforcing the message that disrespect toward the family comes with consequences. Every choice carries high stakes. Immediately after the warning, speculation exploded online. Fans and analysts dissected Charleston White's social media activity for any indication of a response. Every post, comment, and story was scrutinized for hidden meaning, subtle gestures, or veiled references to the ongoing tension. The attention wasn't limited to fans. Hip-hop insiders and other influencers closely followed the situation, knowing that the feud involved the Prince family, whose influence stretches across the industry. Meanwhile, J. Prince Jr.'s position remains strong. His measured approach and careful messaging demonstrated a level of strategic thinking beyond mere retaliation. He understands that maintaining authority requires balancing firmness with public perception. By making his stance clear without overreacting, he reinforces the Prince family's influence while keeping control over the narrative. This isn't just about one warning, it's a demonstration of how power, respect, and strategy intersect in hip-hop. Social media added another layer of complexity. Memes, reaction videos, and fan debates amplified the tension effectively, turning the audience into active participants in the feud. Every viral clip, every replayed comment, and every thread of discussion increased the pressure on Charleston White to respond. In today's culture, perception is reality. The court of public opinion can be just as influential as the actions themselves, and it can sway both fans and peers alike. Charleston White's potential moves became a topic of intense discussion. Some fans predicted he would respond via video, delivering a statement that asserts his side of the story while defending his reputation. Others suggested he might post indirect social media jabs, hinting at his stance without directly engaging in conflict. A smaller faction believed that he could strategically choose silence, letting J. Prince Jr.'s warning hang over the situation while avoiding further escalation. Each scenario has risks and potential rewards, and all are being analyzed by fans in real time. The Prince family legacy weighs heavily on this feud. J. Prince Sr. is a symbol of power, loyalty, and strategic influence in hip-hop, and his son's warning carries the weight of that legacy. Disrespect isn't just personal, it's a challenge to an established hierarchy. For Charleston White, navigating this dynamic is complicated. He must maintain his persona as outspoken and fearless, while respecting the invisible boundaries that the Prince family represents. Miscalculations could result in loss of credibility, diminished influence, or backlash from both the streets and the hip-hop community. Fan reactions are telling. Supporters of J. Prince Jr. praised his loyalty, commending him for defending his father's name and showing that family honor remains a priority. On the other side, supporters of Charleston White debated whether he should respond publicly, viewing his silence as a strategic pause or a moment of hesitation. These fan divisions illustrate the broader implications of the feud. Every move is interpreted as a reflection of credibility, power, and influence. The audience doesn't just watch. They participate, shaping the narrative as it unfolds. Meanwhile, the streets and industry observers take note of the subtleties. JPrinceJRs.com, yet assertive warning demonstrates confidence and control, qualities necessary to maintain authority in a highly scrutinized environment. For Charleston White, the pressure isn't just about defending his reputation. It's about understanding the larger context of hierarchy, influence, and cultural standards within hip-hop. A misstep could have far-reaching consequences affecting relationships, collaborations. And standing in the community, the feud also highlights generational and strategic differences. J. Prince Jr. approaches the situation with calculated diplomacy, balancing authority with measured response. Charleston White embodies a more reactive, outspoken approach, where immediate statements and public boldness are central to maintaining credibility. The clash between these styles contributes to the unpredictability of the feud, keeping fans and industry insiders on edge. The ongoing tension illustrates another important factor. In hip-hop, influence is maintained through both action and perception. J. Prince Jr.'s warning was strategic, asserting dominance without provoking unnecessary escalation. Charleston White's next move will determine whether he preserves his influence, cedes ground, or reshapes the narrative in his favor. Every gesture, post, and comment will be analyzed as part of this ongoing chess game of respect, strategy, and cultural positioning. As the story unfolds, speculation about potential outcomes dominates conversations. Will Charleston White respond with direct confrontation, using social media or video statements to assert his stance? Will he attempt a more subtle strategy, indirectly addressing the situation while avoiding public escalation? Or will he choose silence, allowing J. Prince Jr.'s warning to linger and the audience to interpret the dynamic for themselves? The possibilities are varied, and each carries consequences for perception, influence, and credibility. The broader cultural significance of the feud cannot be overstated. The conflict serves as a real-time lesson in strategy, power, and reputation. Up-and-coming artists, fans, and industry observers are watching carefully, learning how influence is asserted and defended, and how actions and reactions shape narratives. The Prince family's legacy adds a layer of weight to the situation, reinforcing the importance of strategy, timing, and perception in every decision. As the days pass, tension continues to escalate. Social media chatter, street commentary, and industry speculation all contribute to a high-stakes environment. The feud has grown beyond personal pride, becoming a case study in authority, respect, and influence. Every participant, from J. Prince Jr. to Charleston White, must navigate this landscape carefully, weighing immediate reactions against long-term consequences. Ultimately, the outcome of this feud depends not just on words, but on strategic execution. J. Prince Jr. has established a position of strength, delivering a warning that demonstrates loyalty, authority, and calculated control. Charleston White faces the challenge of responding without compromising his reputation or escalating beyond his control. Fans, streets, and industry insiders await the next chapter. Knowing that every move will have lasting impact, the stakes have never been higher. Hip-hop thrives on respect, influence, and perception, and this feud between J. Prince Jr. and Charleston White exemplifies all three. Every statement, post, and gesture contributes to a larger narrative that will be remembered long after the initial confrontation. The question remains, will Charleston White step up and respond, or will J. Prince Jr.'s warning hold unchallenged? And who will ultimately claim credibility in this high-stakes showdown? The streets had been buzzing for days, and social media was on fire. J. Prince Jr. had delivered his warning, and now the spotlight shifted entirely to Charleston White. Would he respond? Would he escalate the drama? Or would he remain silent, letting the Prince family's influence speak for itself? This chapter would determine not only the outcome of the feud, but also the perception of respect, power, and legacy in hip-hop. Charleston White, known for his outspoken personality, now faced a dilemma few could navigate: respond too aggressively, and he risked inflaming a conflict with one of hip-hop's most respected families. Respond too passively, and he could be perceived as weak, allowing J. Prince Jr. to solidify authority in the public eye. His every move was now under scrutiny, analyzed by fans, street insiders, and fellow artists alike. Even a delayed response became a statement, signal that could either bolster or damage his credibility. In the first 48 hours after Prince Jr.'s warning, Charleston White chose to respond subtly but strategically, instead of immediately. Confronting the Prince family head-on, he posted a series of indirect messages on social media. Each post was crafted to maintain his image as fearless, while hinting at awareness of the Prince family's warning. Fans dissected every line, looking for hidden meanings, while commentators debated whether this approach signaled strength, caution, or hesitation. It was a high-stakes dance of perception and influence. Meanwhile, Prince Jr. continued to maintain his composure. He did not respond hastily or engage in petty exchanges. His calculated restraint reinforced the weight of his initial warning, demonstrating authority without overreaction. Fans and street analysts praised his approach, a display of maturity and strategy that underscored the influence of the prince family. By holding back, Prince Jr. showed that sometimes power isn't about loud responses, but about calculated dominance and letting your actions or silence speak louder than words. Social media reactions reached fever pitch. Supporters of Prince Jr. praised his calm yet firm approach, calling him a true representative of his father's legacy. Others admired Charleston White's subtle defiance, acknowledging his ability to push back without completely escalating the conflict. The debate dominated forums, news segments, and hip-hop communities, demonstrating just how invested the public was in this feud. Every clip, tweet, or post became part of the narrative, driving engagement and amplifying tension. That drama didn't stay online, it spilled into street discussions and industry circles. Influencers, artists, and insiders weighed in on the unfolding situation, analyzing body language, tone, and timing. Some believed Charleston White had cleverly avoided direct escalation, preserving his street credibility while acknowledging the Prince family's power. Others argued that Prince Jr. had successfully commanded respect, showing the consequences of crossing the line when it comes to family and legacy. As days turned into a week, the intensity of the feud began to stabilize, but the lessons lingered. Fans and street observers reflected on how respect is enforced, how legacy is protected, and how conflicts are navigated strategically. The drama highlighted that true influence isn't just about who shouts the loudest, it's about timing, strategy, perception, and control. Prince Jr. and Charleston White had engaged in a nuanced exchange that elevated both their profiles while reinforcing the principles of respect and legacy within hip-hop culture. Industry insiders noted the significance of this interaction. Prince Jr.'s handling of the situation demonstrated a mastery of strategic communication and public perception. By issuing a warning and then maintaining composure, showed that power is as much about restraint as it is about confrontation. Charleston White's careful response showcased the importance of maintaining one's image, asserting presence, and understanding cultural boundaries. Both participants had navigated a complex landscape with skill, leaving lessons for aspiring artists and fans alike. The aftermath of the feud was clear. Respect had been reinforced, boundaries had been established, and both parties had maintained credibility. Prince Jr.'s warning had achieved its intended effect. Charleston White acknowledged the power dynamics without causing unnecessary escalation, and the streets understood the significance of family loyalty. The narrative had been controlled, reputations maintained, and lessons in authority and strategy were on full display for anyone watching closely. Ultimately, the conflict between Prince Jr. and Charleston White became more than just a feud. It evolved into a public example of how power, respect, and influence intersect in hip-hop culture. Fans witnessed firsthand how legacy, loyalty, and strategy can shape outcomes in high-stakes situations. The Prince family's influence remained intact, Charleston White's credibility endured, and the streets absorbed a clear lesson about the importance of measured responses and strategic thinking. The final takeaway is simple, but powerful. In hip-hop, respect isn't given, it's earned and defended. Legacy carries weight, strategy matters, and perception is everything. Prince Jr.'s handling of the feud demonstrated authority, strategic thinking, and family loyalty, while Charleston White's response showed the value of measured engagement, subtlety, and reputation management. Together, they created a storyline that will be remembered as a masterclass in street strategy, influence, and cultural navigation. The streets, fans, and industry observers continue to dissect the feud, discussing every post, statement, and gesture. The narrative is now part of hip-hop lore, showing how even modern conflicts are governed by codes of respect, legacy, and strategic thinking. And while the drama may have settled temporarily, the lessons it provided will influence interactions, responses, and reputation management in hip-hop for years to come. The streets watched. The fans debated. Respect was reinforced. Legacy was defended. And the narrative proved one undeniable truth. In hip-hop, influence is earned. Authority is strategic, and every move matters. Who do you think handled this drama better? Prince Jr. with his warning, or Charleston White with his strategic response? Drop your thoughts in the comments and let the streets decide. Smash that like button if you live for real hip-hop drama, and subscribe for all the latest clapbacks, beef updates, and street reactions. Turn on post notifications so you never miss a move in this ongoing saga. Every statement matters. And the streets are watching. This isn't just a beef. It's respect, legacy, and power on full display. Who really came out on top? You decide.